There's something almost invisible we do every morning without thinking. We open the closet, reach for a familiar blouse, a cozy sweater, or that cardigan we've worn for years, and we wrap it around our shoulders like a second skin. But here's what no one told you. The color you choose might not just be clothing your body. It might be draining your spirit. For women over 60, color stops being just about fashion. It becomes energy. It becomes mood. It becomes a silent influence shaping how your day feels, how your body rests, how people around you connect or disconnect from your presence. Some colors may have felt empowering in your 30s or 40s, but now, they could be quietly amplifying fatigue, tension, sadness, or emotional distance. And you wouldn't even know it's the fabric doing the talking. This isn't about superstition. It's about understanding how your energy shifts as you age, and how the wrong color can throw off your emotional and physical balance. The worst part? Some of these colors are ones we've been told are elegant, timeless, even lucky. But when you wear them now, at this stage of life, they could be blocking your sleep, your calm, your peace of mind, even your relationships. Have you been feeling more tired, more irritable, or strangely out of touch lately, even though nothing has technically gone wrong? It might not be your lifestyle, it might be your wardrobe. In this video, we're going to uncover the exact colors women over 60 should avoid and why. Not to limit you, but to free you. Because your clothes should lift your spirit, not bury it. Let's begin with the color that many consider powerful, but for the aging spirit becomes quietly dangerous. Let's talk about black. Part 1, black, the color that pulls you inward. There's a reason so many of us reach for black. It feels safe. It feels elegant. It's easy to match, forgiving on the figure, and lets us blend in when we're not in the mood to stand out. But the comfort of black might come with a hidden cost, one that becomes more and more significant as we age. If you're over 60, black is no longer just a color, it's a signal. And the signal it sends to your body, your mind, and your energy might be working against you. Let's start with the part no one talks about. Have you ever noticed how you feel after a day of wearing black from head to toe? Not just tired, but emotionally heavy, mentally foggy, or strangely disconnected from your surroundings. Maybe your sleep feels less restful. Maybe conversations feel harder. Maybe you feel like you're moving through the world but not fully present in it. That's not just in your head, it's energy. As we grow older, the balance of energy in our bodies shifts. We slow down not just physically but energetically. Our inner fire, our drive, our radiance naturally begins to settle. That's a normal, even beautiful part of life. But when you wrap yourself in black, especially day after day, you're adding to that settling in a way that can tip the scale too far. Black absorbs. It pulls in everything: light, heat, and yes, emotional tone. It doesn't reflect. It doesn't lift. It holds and stores. And when your body is already in a slower, more reflective phase of life, adding that kind of absorption from the outside can deepen fatigue, amplify emotional numbness, and increase your sense of disconnection. You may notice it in subtle ways: a heaviness behind your eyes, a sigh that escapes without reason, a lack of motivation that's hard to explain. It's not about fashion anymore, it's about frequency. Black isn't neutral, it's dense. It holds onto energy, yours, and the energy of places you've been. That crowded waiting room at the doctor's office, that tense family gathering, that lonely walk through the grocery store where no one looked up. Black doesn't let those moments pass through you. It holds them. You carry them home. You carry them into your sleep. And eventually, they show up in how your body feels when you wake up the next day. You might think you're just getting older. But what if you're actually wearing the emotional dust of the day before? Here, Another thing we rarely consider, black changes how others interact with us. It creates an emotional distance, a visual boundary. For younger people, that boundary might come across as mystery or confidence. But for older women, especially those already feeling invisible or misunderstood, it can reinforce the very walls we're trying to take down. Think about your last family gathering. Did you wear black? Did you feel seen, heard? Did people open up to you, or did they keep their distance, assuming you needed space or silence? Color is communication. And black, though classic, says, not today, not now, not open. Of course, black has its place. There's nothing wrong with wearing it occasionally, especially when paired with softer textures or warming accents. But when it becomes the default, especially in the later chapters of life, it can quietly pull you further and further inward until even you start to forget what used to light you up. The goal here isn't to shame your closet. It's to help you see what might be happening under the surface. Your body deserves softness. Your spirit deserves to breathe. And your presence, yes, even now, especially now, deserves to be seen, felt, and embraced. So what can you do? Start by noticing. Pay attention to how you feel after a day in black versus a day in something lighter, softer, or more vibrant. Track your mood, your sleep, your sense of connection. You may be surprised by what shifts. And when you do wear black, be intentional. Add a scarf with warmth, a smile that softens, a piece of jewelry that glimmers. Let black be the background, not the story. You've earned the right to be vibrant. Not in a loud, youthful way, but in a steady, grounded, magnetic way. The kind of vibrance that says, I'm still here, I'm still growing, I'm still radiant in my own rhythm. You don't need to abandon black entirely, but you do need to understand what it does and what it might be taking from you without your permission. Because after 60, your energy is too precious to waste. Your presence is too valuable to dim. And your days, no matter how ordinary, are worth feeling alive for. Part 2, white and gray, when bright looks feel cold. White and gray seem harmless, even graceful. They're often the go-to choices when we want to look clean, calm, or put together without being loud. A soft gray sweater, a crisp white blouse, they whisper simplicity and quiet strength. But if you've ever worn these colors and felt strangely hollow, emotionally flat, or just not quite yourself, there's a deeper reason behind it. And it's more than just mood. For women over 60, colors don't just sit on the surface. They interact with the deeper emotional layers that are shifting as we age. And while white and gray might look light, their energy can create a coldness, one that slowly seeps into your spirit. Have you ever walked into a room wearing all white or pale gray and felt invisible? Not just unnoticed, but almost unreachable. That's not imagination. It's the energy these colors carry. They don't reflect warmth. They don't invite engagement. Instead, they create a sort of energetic neutrality, a stillness that over time can turn into emotional silence. Many women describe it as a quiet detachment they can't explain. You're physically present, but your spirit feels like it's in the background. And while these colors can offer a break from chaos or overstimulation, when worn often, especially during emotional transitions like retirement, loss, or an empty nest, they can amplify feelings of loneliness, uncertainty, or emotional distance. It's subtle at first. You might sigh more often. You may find yourself saying less during conversations or withdrawing from social invitations without really knowing why. Your sleep might be dreamless. Your days might feel oddly still, even when they're full. White, in particular, is often associated with purity or peace. But in energetic terms, it's also connected with endings, a closing of cycles. That's why it's commonly used in spiritual or ceremonial spaces. It quiets the room, but it can also quiet the soul. And for a woman trying to stay emotionally connected, engaged, and vibrant in this next phase of life, that kind of silence isn't always helpful. Gray, on the other hand, brings its own complications. It's not fully light or dark. It exists in between. And that in-between energy can leave you feeling undefined, not rooted in joy, but not quite in sorrow either. It's the emotional equivalent of fog, soft, muted, and hard to move through. When worn regularly, gray has a way of dimming your inner spark. It doesn't challenge you, but it doesn't lift you either. It just exists. And that can be dangerous for a woman who still has so much life to live. Think back to a day when you wore soft grays or an all-white outfit. How did your conversations feel? Did you laugh easily? Did people open up to you? Or did you find yourself floating through the hours, present but not fully there? These colors affect not just how you feel inside, but how people feel around you. They can make you seem distant, even when you don't mean to be. They soften boundaries, blur emotions, and can unintentionally send the message that you're closed off or withdrawn. Of course, that's not always the case. White and gray have their moments. They can be beautiful accents when paired with warmth, a soft beige scarf, a rose-toned necklace, or a cheerful lipstick. But when these shades become your everyday palette, they begin to shape not just your wardrobe, but your emotional landscape. They whisper of silence, of pause, of stepping back. And while that may be useful sometimes, it shouldn't be the default setting for the years ahead. Because this season of your life deserves color. Not in a loud, look-at-me way, but in a deeply nurturing, life-affirming way. You deserve tones that lift your spirit, bring light to your face, and help others feel safe and connected in your presence. You deserve warmth both in your surroundings and in yourself. So what can you do? Start small. Notice how you feel after a day in white or gray versus a day in softer colors like blush, soft blue, or warm earth tones. Look at photos of yourself in different outfits, not to judge your appearance, but to sense your energy. Do your eyes sparkle more in ivory or light coral? Does your smile feel more at ease in sand tones or soft pinks? Let your intuition guide you. You've lived enough life to know what feels right. Use that wisdom. And when you do choose white or gray, do it with intention. Add something warm, a cardigan in oatmeal, a scarf in lavender, a pair of earrings with gold accents. Let those pieces soften the cold, brighten the stillness, and remind your energy that it's safe to open again. The colors we wear are not just choices. They are mirrors. They reflect how we see ourselves and how we want to be seen. Choose to be seen as someone alive, as someone warm, as someone still growing, because you are. Part 3, Dark Purple, the elegance that hides melancholy. There's something captivating about dark purple. It's the color of velvet dresses, twilight skies, and old books with stories buried deep inside. It looks sophisticated, regal, even spiritual. Many women are drawn to it without knowing why, perhaps because it speaks to something deeper, something private. But what makes dark purple beautiful is also what makes it heavy. And for women over 60, that weight may no longer be healing. It may be holding you back. If you've ever worn a rich eggplant blouse, a plum shawl, or a deep indigo scarf and felt more reflective than usual, maybe even a little quiet or withdrawn, you're not alone. Dark purple has that effect. It stirs memory. It opens emotional doors you thought were closed. It doesn't shout, it whispers, and sometimes what it whispers is sadness, or solitude, or the echo of something unresolved. This color is a mixture of two emotional extremes, red and blue. Red brings fire, energy, and action. Blue brings depth, calm, and contemplation. Mixed together, they create purple, a balance of emotion and thought. But as purple deepens in shade, it tips toward stillness, toward introspection. And for women in their 60s and beyond, whose lives are already slowing in rhythm, this energy can amplify emotional weight rather than soothe it. Have you ever noticed that certain memories surface more when you wear dark colors? Not just the big ones, but the small, unresolved ones, a conversation that didn't end well, a moment where you wish you said more or less. Dark purple seems to call those pieces of the past back into focus. And while reflection can be healthy, too much of it can anchor you in places you were meant to move through, not return to. This is especially true in the late afternoon or evening, times when your energy naturally dips. Wearing dark purple during those hours can deepen the quiet to a point where it becomes emotional fog. You might find yourself sighing more, staring out the window without purpose, or avoiding phone calls because you just don't feel like talking. The people around you may sense it too. A daughter might ask, "Are you okay?" Or a friend might comment, "You seem a little distant today." It's not necessarily depression. It's the energy you're sitting in. Dark purple doesn't radiate outward, it turns everything inward. And when your spirit already leans toward introspection, this color can fold you in even more. That emotional withdrawal can have unintended effects. Grandchildren might hesitate before running to your arms. Your partner may feel unsure how to reach you. Friends may assume you want space. Slowly, without meaning to, the world starts interacting with the version of you that dark purple projects, not the warm, vibrant, curious woman who still lives inside. It's important to say this. Dark purple isn't inherently bad. It has a role in ritual, in ceremony, in moments of depth and reverence. But when it becomes part of your everyday palette, especially in your home or your clothing, it can create an emotional lens that doesn't always serve your current life stage. It can trap you in reflection, even when what you need most is reconnection. So what can you do if purple is a color you love, one you've always felt drawn to? The answer isn't to give it up. It's to shift how you use it. Instead of wearing deep purples, explore softer variations like lavender, lilac, smoky mauve, or pastel violet. These shades still carry the wisdom and softness of purple, but without the emotional heaviness. They uplift without overwhelming. They soothe without silencing. Notice how you feel in a lavender cardigan versus a plum one, how your voice changes, how easily you laugh, how much more open your posture becomes. These are small signals, but they matter. They tell you that your body and spirit are responding to light, not just visually, but energetically. You can also bring soft purple into your space in gentle ways. A lavender pillow on your reading chair, a soft floral print in your bedroom. Even a scented candle in violet packaging can shift the tone of a room. Let purple live around you, not weigh on you. Let it become part of your atmosphere, not your identity. In the end, colors are tools. They don't define you, but they do shape how you move through the world and how the world moves toward you. Dark purple may once have helped you feel powerful, mysterious, or protected. But now your power is different. It doesn't need armor, it needs light. You are allowed to let go of what once served you if it no longer does. You are allowed to choose softness without losing depth. And you are allowed to change how you express yourself, simply because it feels better. So the next time you reach for that dark purple blouse, pause, ask yourself, is this helping me feel seen, or is it helping me hide? The answer may not be in the mirror. It may be in how your heart responds the moment the fabric touches your skin. Part 4, Bright Red, the flame that burns too fast. Red is the color of celebration. Birthdays, anniversaries, holiday dinners, we reach for red when we want to be seen, when we want to feel alive. And for much of our lives, red gave us exactly that: energy, attention, excitement. But after 60, the meaning of red starts to shift. It doesn't change its nature, we change. And in that shift, red can become less of a spark and more of a fire that's too strong to manage. Have you noticed that when you wear bright red now, it doesn't always feel like power anymore? It feels sharp. Maybe you feel more restless. You sleep a little lighter. Your words come out faster than you meant. A normal conversation with your spouse becomes an argument. A small annoyance with your grandchild becomes a flash of frustration. It feels like you're reacting before you even realize it. And then you wonder, where did that come from? It might be the color. Red is heat. In its most vibrant shade, it stimulates your nervous system. It raises heart rate. It activates. And that can be invigorating when your body is young and your energy is abundant. But at this stage of life, when your spirit is searching more for balance than speed, red can throw everything into overdrive. That overdrive can lead to tension, emotional swings, and physical symptoms that feel like stress. Headaches, sleeplessness, sudden fatigue, or that feeling that your chest just won't relax. Wearing bright red often, especially when your energy is already sensitive, can feel like standing in front of a speaker with the volume up too high. It doesn't make you stronger. It just makes everything louder and not always in a helpful way. Then there's the impact on your relationships. Red doesn't just affect how you feel inside, it shapes how people respond to you. It commands attention. It creates urgency. And in families where you may already feel like you're fighting to be heard or understood, wearing red can make you seem more intense than you mean to be. Your words carry more charge. Your emotions land harder. People may pull away not because you're wrong, but because the energy feels overwhelming. It's not your fault, and it's not the color's fault either. Red isn't bad, it's just powerful. And like anything powerful, it has to be used with care, especially when your emotional and physical systems need gentleness more than force. Think back to a time when you wore red and felt off by the end of the day. Maybe it was a family event and you came home exhausted, even though nothing dramatic happened. Maybe you struggled to fall asleep, your mind buzzing with replayed conversations. Maybe you couldn't explain why you felt so wound up. Red may have helped you feel confident at first, but over time it heightened your system, and it didn't let you come back down. That's why in this phase of life, it's not about removing red altogether. It's about adjusting how you wear it. Instead of bold, bright reds, shift toward deeper, grounded tones: wine red, brick red, dusty rose. These still carry the energy of passion and presence, but they don't inflame. They warm. They support. They help you express strength without overextending your emotional energy. Also consider how you balance red when you do wear it. Pair it with soft neutrals, beige, cream, soft brown, to temper its intensity. Add natural textures. Choose red in smaller accents: a scarf, a bracelet, a lining inside your coat. Let it whisper instead of shout. Let it glow instead of burn. You might also notice how red affects your space. A red blanket, red pillows, or too much red in your home's shared areas can increase agitation in subtle ways. If your home has been feeling tense, more arguments, less rest, look around. The tones you surround yourself with matter more than ever. Use red to bring joy, not conflict. And finally, check in with how red affects your own heart. Do you feel uplifted or overstimulated? Do you feel confident or wired? Do you feel warm or overwhelmed? Trust those responses. At this age, your intuition is your greatest guide. If something feels too much, it probably is. You still deserve to shine. You still deserve to be seen. But that visibility doesn't have to come from intensity. It can come from radiance, the kind that draws people in instead of pushing them back. the kind that soothes even as it brightens, the kind that reflects not your urgency but your depth. So next time you reach for red, ask yourself, do I need fire today? Or do I need warmth? Because the difference between those two could be the difference between a day of harmony and a day that burns just a little too fast. Part 5. Metallic gold when shine becomes shield. Gold has always symbolized something grand: celebration, achievement, elegance. From jewelry boxes to holiday dresses, it's a color that says, I've earned this. And for many women, especially those who have worked hard, raised families, built legacies, wearing gold can feel like stepping into your own worth. But there's another side to gold, especially in its metallic, high-shine form. At a certain point in life, what once felt radiant can begin to feel distant. What once invited admiration might now be creating emotional space. Not because you've changed, but because your energy has. Metallic gold is bold. Reflective, it doesn't just catch the eye, it holds it. That's the beauty. But it's also the challenge. Because the more gold demands attention, the less room there is for softness, for connection, for vulnerability. You become a statement, not a story. And at a stage of life where many women crave closeness, ease, and deeper relationships, being seen as strong can sometimes be a disguise for feeling unseen. Have you ever worn a gold blouse to a gathering and come home feeling tired, not from the event, but from the effort of being on? Or noticed how conversations felt more formal, less intimate, like people admired you but didn't quite know how to reach you? That's not your imagination. Metallic gold creates a kind of energetic mirror. It reflects light outward. It shines so brightly that it can make people hesitate to approach. It can even make you feel a little disconnected from your own softness. And here's something subtle. Gold not only amplifies outward attention, it can mute your inner voice. When you wear something flashy, there's often a part of you managing it. Holding posture, adjusting presence, protecting the image. You start thinking more about how you're being seen and less about how you're truly feeling. Over time, that kind of emotional performance takes a toll. There's also a spiritual impact to consider. Gold in its raw, natural form is grounding. But when processed into a reflective, metallic finish, especially in clothing or large accessories, it turns sharp. In energetic terms, it becomes like armor. Beautiful, yes, but armor all the same. And when you wear armor too often, people stop seeing your tenderness. And worse, you stop showing it. For women over 60, this can quietly reinforce isolation. You may be admired for your grace, your elegance, your put-together look. But behind that admiration, people might assume you're invulnerable. They might not offer help, check in, or ask questions. They assume you don't need softness because you don't look like you do. And that assumption can be painful, especially when what you really need most in this season is warmth, connection, and emotional safety. So what can you do? The answer isn't to give up gold. It's to choose gold that supports your energy rather than eclipses it. Instead of metallic gold, try warm, matte golds, soft mustard, antique bronze, honey beige. These shades still carry richness, but with a quiet confidence. They radiate warmth, not pressure. They say presence, not performance. When you do wear metallic gold, wear it where it complements, not dominates. A simple pair of earrings, a bracelet, a clutch. Let it accent your energy, not override it. Pair it with grounding tones, earthy browns, soft creams, dusty roses to balance its shine. And most importantly, check in with how you feel in it. Not how you look, how you feel. That's where the truth is. Also, be mindful of when you wear metallic gold. In spaces meant for reflection, memorials, prayer gatherings, quiet conversations, its sharpness may be too much. In moments of celebration, it may fit perfectly. The key is timing, intent, balance. Your energy is no longer something to prove, it's something to preserve. And if you find yourself wearing metallic gold often, not just for style, but to feel stronger, more in control, more visible, pause. Ask yourself if you're dressing for expression or for protection. Because after a lifetime of holding everything together, you deserve to wear colors that let you exhale. Colors that invite softness, that say, I'm here and I'm still open. You've earned your glow, but not all shine needs to be loud. Sometimes the most powerful presence is the one that doesn't try so hard. The one that lets her light speak gently, not blaze through the room. Because true elegance at this age isn't about impressing anyone. It's about embodying peace. So next time you reach for that gold-toned top, ask yourself, is this helping me shine or helping me hide? The difference, subtle as it is, will be felt not just by you, but by everyone who comes near your light. Final, as we grow older, we begin to understand. What once felt powerful might now feel heavy. What once gave us energy may now take it away. And nowhere is that shift more quietly present than in the colors we choose to wear each day. This isn't about fashion. It's about how color speaks to the body, how it moves through the nervous system, how it interacts with memory, breath, sleep, and emotion, often without us even realizing it. Black, once a symbol of elegance, now draws you inward, sometimes into places you no longer need to dwell. White and gray, though seemingly calm, can pull the warmth out of your day and leave you floating instead of grounded. Dark purple, rich in depth, can anchor you too far into reflection where connection fades. Bright red, the color of celebration, may now ignite more than it soothes. And metallic gold, with all its dazzle, may quietly build walls when what you really long for is to be gently seen. What all of these have in common is not that they are wrong, it's that they are strong. And as your body, your emotions, and your energy become more sensitive with age, strength must be chosen with care. Because now your well-being isn't about boldness, it's about balance. It's about knowing when to be radiant and when to be still, when to express and when to receive, when to shine and when to soften. The beauty of this stage of life is that you no longer need to prove anything. You get to choose what feels right. What feels kind to your body? What feels true to your heart? The colors you wear are not just covering you, they are shaping how you move through the world and how the world responds to you. So tomorrow morning when you stand before your closet, don't ask, what looks good? Ask, what helps me feel alive, calm, connected? Choose colors that invite warmth into your home, that welcome laughter into your afternoon. That help your body breathe more easily, your shoulders drop, your voice soften. In this new chapter, your energy is your greatest currency. Protect it, nourish it, wrap it in colors that feel like ease. You don't need to wear brightness to be light. You already are. And now, a gentle question to carry with you. What would your days feel like if your clothes matched the peace you're trying to grow inside?